Apologize for being a little bit late here. First off, would like to start by giving Coach Ulmer and the volleyball team a shout out for their success and making it to the Sweet 16. Obviously, for our guys here, extremely excited for our opportunity to go play in the Holiday Bowl against a really great opponent in North Carolina. I think that's one of the best bowls out there. And certainly have enjoyed getting the opportunity to go out there with this team one more time, this 2022 team, one more time and compete. We're excited. Our guys have kind of got an opportunity here to charge our batteries and really get healthy. That's what a lot of bowl preps at. And also we're finishing up academically right now in the classroom. We want to do a good job there of finishing there the right way. With that being said, we can open this up for questions.
All right, let's start with James Carpia from the Oregonian.
Dan, what was your reaction when you saw the post-game altercation with DJ Johnson, and what is the outcome of that situation? What's his status for this bowl game and with the program?
Yeah, first is just gather information. We don't want to be a program that just operates based off of what we don't have, and taking a deeper dive into that situation, doing some investigating on our end, and really on the other side, through a few avenues. You realize that DJ was in a moment there that he certainly wished he would have acted different, but something was said that was pretty extreme to him that, some people might act in a similar fashion. So certainly not condoning the behavior. I know DJ wishes he could have that moment back. It was an intense situation, but those things happen at times. And I know that he would handle it different given the opportunity. But right now he's a guy that has the opportunity to compete and move on in the NFL draft and has put himself in the position to do that. I think he's going to take a chance to go to the Senior Bowl, but I don't want to speak for DJ too much, but I think right now he's in preparation for the draft.
Zach Neal, Duckswire.
Coach, at what point in the season did you know that Kenny Dillingham was moving on? And did that heads up give you a jump start on the OC search?
I think anytime, you try to be prepared for those moments all the time, right? When you hire really good coaches, you know that you're going to get great opportunities for them down the road. And one thing that I've said from day one is my goal, whether it's a player going on to the NFL or a coach in the opportunity to go on and be a head coach, you want those moments to happen. You want to hire good people and create moments like that for people. So obviously usually these things go really, really quick. I knew that there was always going to be an opportunity potentially for Kenny, and there will be for other coaches in the future in our staff, right? We're going to be a staff that has great coaches, so they're going to have an opportunity to get other chances. But that one really happened really quick towards the end of the season. It was rapid, but certainly we had a plan in place as we move forward.
Eric Scobel, 247 Sports.
Following up on that, Dan, just kind of what's the status of the offensive coordinator search? What's kind of the progress with that, and what are characteristics that are attractive for filling this position?
Yeah, it's going really well. I'd love to sit here and say I can tell you an announcement right now. I'm not ready to be in that position, but we are getting close. I feel that the interest in this job is obviously extreme, and you get an opportunity to be thorough and diligent as you go through that process and looking for opportunities to enhance your program. I'll also tell you that we have some phenomenal coaches here on our staff that are certainly qualified to be the offensive coordinator here. And that's something that we'll definitely, explore every opportunity here as we move forward and what that'll look like. I'm not going to ask anybody to come in right now and call the bowl game different from what we've done in the past. I don't think that's fair to bring a brand new coach in and ask them to call the bowl game when there's terminology and some differences there. That being said, Drew Maringer, Junior Adams, Adrian Clem, Carlos Lachlan, our offensive staff will prep us. Jordan Somerville will prep us as we move into the bowl game and be ready to take on the bowl game and compete with some of that same terminology and things that we've attacked this season.
Garrett Denny, Scoop Duck on 3.
Dan, what's Bo's status at this point? Is it looking like he's going to play in the bowl game?
Yeah, Bo's a competitor. He wants to get out there and play in this game for sure.
Matt Preem, 247 Sports.
You just kind of touched on it there for a second with offensive coordinator search, but do you anticipate Kenny's gone? He's not going to come back and coach the bowl, and who is going to be the OC for the bowl game?
I think it'll be a collaborative effort with our offensive staff. I think Coach Maringer and Coach Adams will really take on the lead roles there. Again, they've both been coordinators in the past. We certainly have a staff that's qualified to do that. They've been a big part. I think Kenny would be the first one to tell you that they've been a big part of this process this entire season and the success that we've had on offense. And they'll continue to be that moving forward for us. So I see it being a collaborative effort with the offense, but Coach Maringer and Coach Adams really, taking kind of the lead role on some of those things.
Aaron from K-Val.
Ending on such a tough loss to your in-state rival, just how have you really boosted the team's morale since then to get them excited about playing in a bowl game?
There's not a lot of teams in the nation right now that get an opportunity to go play to get 10 wins, right? And there's not a lot of, not every team in the nation gets an opportunity to go play in a bowl game. And this is a great bowl game versus a really good opponent. I think every one of our guys is anxious to get out there and do just that. You play for the love of the game. You play because you love football. You love to compete. And our guys want to get out there on the field and do that.
James, the Oregonian.
With the portal about to open tomorrow, Dan, obviously every program's got it. You've got guys going in, but in terms of areas that you're going to look to enhance, on paper, it would certainly look like edge rush, corner, and receiver would be areas you guys might look to enhance. Is that a fair assessment, or are there other areas you'd like to enhance?
We're going to look to enhance our program in every facet, every opportunity that we get to make our program better. I think we did a really good job this past season of bringing the right people into the program. I want to say we had maybe 10 guys that we brought in, scholarship guys that we brought in, and all of them were really big time contributors for us this season. So the goal is to find good people that fit the characteristics that we're looking for in our program, regardless of just position, and certainly you'll look for some position specific pieces, but I'm not going to limit our search to just a couple positions. We're going to look for guys that make our program better and that fit our culture as we move forward.
Zach Neal, Ducks Wire.
Christian Gonzalez declared for the NFL draft today. You've coached a lot of NFL players in your career. I'm just curious what you've seen from him from this year, from coaching him, and what you project from him at the next level.
Yeah, so impressed with Christian. It's I think Christian is experiencing now what so many of us saw in him when he first got here, and what he's a product of a great family, a product of a coach that did a really good job there with Coach Martin. And our defensive staff, but really also a product of just a great young man. Christian has been elite in everything that he's done for our program. He's worked really hard to earn everything that he's got, and I'm really proud of him. And I know that he wants to be out there competing with his brothers, but sometimes those decisions have to be left to family members and other people that are looking out for his interest. And that being said, Christian's done a ton for our program. We're certainly grateful for his contribution.
Eric Scopel, 247 Sports.
Dan, just kind of following up on bowl opt-outs, are you aware of any other players besides Christian? You mentioned maybe DJ, it sounds like, that are planning on doing that, and kind of what an opportunity that provides for whatever players are going to maybe receive starting opportunities in their place in the bowl.
Yeah, the landscape continues to change right now. I don't anticipate any others. But that being said, things can change, and we'll be ready. Whoever's ready to go step on the field, we'll make sure we have 11 out there on the field ready to go compete.
Matt Preem, 247 Sports.
How do you envision tomorrow being with the transfer portal? Like, there's supposed to be rumors like thousands of players across college football. I feel like sometimes maybe that could be information overload, trying of seeing who's available and what fits your program. Like, how do you approach tomorrow?
First, I guess the thing I would say is I wonder if you could go back however many months this first started, if this is what we wanted. Is this really what we wanted college football to be? And I don't know if that's a reality, right? That, what's tomorrow going to look like? I don't know that any of us really truly know, and you want to be prepared for it as a coach. We prepare for a lot of different scenarios. I know that it's at surface level, the intent, what the portal was intended to do, it was really a great opportunity for student athletes. And now where it's headed, I don't know if that's the case. And I don't know if that's great for college football. That being said, we're going to take advantage of every resource that we have to enhance our program and make us better. And it certainly helped us this past year. We're going to look for opportunities to, and help enhance us moving forward. So it's been really good to us. We've done a really good job of managing it. We're going to look for the right ways to manage it moving forward. What it'll look like in college football, I think tomorrow could be, certainly a different day.
James Crepea, the Oregonian.
Back to the OC traits for a second, Dan. One, do you look for a scheme fit and continuity in terms of somebody from the HUNH tree? Is that in any way a prerequisite or something you're really looking for? And how do you manage over the course of this week and however many more days or hours it'll last, and that in the absence of a hire, you'll have rampant speculation and names being connected to this that create false expectations that have no validity whatsoever? How do you manage that to your players now and your recruits when there's names being connected to this that have no connection to this at all?
Yeah, you had a lot of questions in there, James. I think the first one was something about HUNH. I don't know what that is. What we're going to do.
Hurry up, no huddle.
Gotcha. Okay. Learn something every day. Appreciate you, man. So no, ultimately this is the Oregon system. Like we have an offensive plan that we put together when we got here. That doesn't change when the offensive coordinator changed. There's some things that we believe in that we're going to carry as long as, I'm here. That's what we're going to have a philosophy and what we look like. We're going to be able to adapt moving forward. And that the traits of who we are, that's not really going to change. As you look for a fit, you look for somebody that brings elements to the program that you're excited about, some things that you can adapt, grow. Every year we're going to do a self-scout and evaluate what we can do better, find some things that we think are areas for us to grow, but college football changes every year. So if we came out and we ran the exact same offense next year that we ran this year with no changes, that would be a poor performance on our part. We're going to grow and play to the strengths of our players. And I expect whoever we have there in the offensive coordinator chair to do the same thing. You had a couple other questions there. I'm trying to remember what they were.
Saying, how do you manage
expectations? I don't really worry about other people's expectations. What you do is you hire the best people you possibly can for the job. I know 12 months ago, there were some hires that I made that people weren't necessarily as excited about. And I think the results speak for themselves. We did really, things went really well. So people are going to write whatever they want. Here's what you have to know. I'm going to do anything and everything I can to make sure we get the best people in place for Oregon to be successful in football. And luckily here, we have the ability to go attract the best of the best. Don't really care what logo they have on. Don't care what team they're associated with. I'm interested in getting the best people. And when you get an opportunity to go get the best people, that's when you have a chance to be successful in the field. And you know what? Players know it. The minute you put them in front of them in the room, right? The minute you go out there to the practice field, they realize what good coaching looks like. And we're going to make sure that we have good coaches in place to enhance our program.
Zach Neal, Duckswire.
When it came down to it, you guys were likely going to get either one of two bowls, one on December 17th, the other on December 28th. Obviously, you got the later one with early signing period on the 21st. How much of a benefit is that for you guys to be able to not necessarily use that week leading up to early signing period, focusing on bowl prep and rather being able to recruit a little bit more?
Yeah. I think there's certainly could be some benefits. I don't like live in the world of hypotheticals of what would have been different. There's a lot of things going on for our players right now too. We're entering finals week. So we want to make sure we're doing a great job in the classroom. Obviously, it's a big recruiting week as well, and really weeks leading up to the 21st here as we move forward. So, but we're playing in the game in the Holiday Bowl, and we're excited about it.
Eric Scopel, 247 Sports.
I'm not expecting like an exact timeline, Dan, but when is a realistic and maybe appropriate time to have an OC in place, just with the signing period and all the uncertainty with the portal kind of going on over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, somewhere between now and when it happens. So, it'll happen when it happens. Don't worry. We're not going to coach with 9 next year. We're going to make sure we have 10, and we're going to be really good at it. I promise you. So,
Matt Preem, 247 Sports.
I'm assuming Jordan's moving up to coach quarterbacks with Kenny's gone. Can you just give us your thoughts on him and just the impact he had? Most people don't know beyond probably this room who Jordan Somerville is.
Yeah, well, this is a great opportunity for me to shout him out. Jordan, along with a lot of our young coaches on our staff, Jordan has experience. He came here as a guy that was a full-time position coach in Division I football. He's done an outstanding job, and he has the respect and admiration of our players. He's done a good job in recruiting. He's done a good job with relationships, and he certainly is a good coach. So it's a good opportunity for him to be able to elevate, and excited to see what he does with those guys.
Aaron Slindy, KVAL.
I know you've been on the road recruiting a lot, and then with the transfer portal opening, as a first-year head coach, just how are you balancing working on preparing for the future, but also with the guys that you have now that are going to be playing in this big bowl game?
Live in the moment, right? And have good people around you that can help you stay organized as you move forward, and always have a plan, right? So go to bed knowing what you're doing the next day, focus in the moment that you're at right now, but have a plan moving forward.
Got time for 2 more if the questions are short. James Krapia.
Oh, no chance. He can't ask a short question. You picked the wrong guy to ask a short question.
Kind of what I get at, Coach.
One question, James, not 7.
As a practical matter, who are your jack linebackers for this bowl game?
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see when we go out there on the field. You know the guys on our team better than anybody, right? Yeah.
Last question, Matt Preem.
Just what's kind of your schedule up until the bowl game? When do you start practice? when does bowl prep work on the field actually happen for you guys?
It's varied. We'll get a couple practices in. We actually got a practice in last week. We'll get a practice in again, a couple practices in this week. I'm leaving here for a home visit. You know, we're going to keep it moving. We've got every hour, every minute of each day kind of mapped out. And that's the way you have to operate at this time. You lean on people that you know that have done it before, and you adjust on the fly. So we'll have practices this week. The closer we get to the bowl game, the more it'll ramp up. Our players will get a chance to really take a small break right before we leave for the bowl site. We'll come back here, get a practice before we leave for the bowl site. And we've kind of detailed that plan out for our players. But goal number one right now, make sure that we're enhancing ourselves, getting healthy and stronger in the weight room, making sure we're taking care of our business in the classroom. And then when we do get the chance to take the practice field, we compete. And then as we get closer, we'll start to, continue to move to more practices. Right now, the focus is really just us. We're focused on Oregon. We haven't started opponent prep yet. That'll happen as we get closer to the moment moving forward.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.